Hello everyone, I welcome back all of you to the lesson again. And this lesson will be talking about forecast review process or reviewing the forecast accuracy. So since when you know that this is how to forecast and you have your forecasting process, then you need to have some system which checks how your process is working or how you can improve it, where you're falling short, what's working for you, what's not working for you. So that's where the forecast review process or the forecast accuracy review process comes into picture. So let us start the lesson right away. Yeah, so in some of my previous lessons I was sharing the quote of the day or the quote of the lesson, and I thought let's make little bit learning little bit fun as well. So I thought I'll be sharing some meme of the day. So here's the meme. So I'm going to be explaining it. It's self-explanatory. The look on your boss face when you drop the sales forecast. So you shouldn't be doing it, and this forecast review process will help you on that. Okay, hope you enjoyed the meme. Let's start with the lesson now. First question: why you should be having a forecast review process? First point: to improve your forecasting process. Why? Because forecasting process is not a one-time project or not a one-time event. It's a continuous improvement process, right? And when you when you're working on a process, you learn what's working for you, what's not working for you, what type of KPI you should be using, what model is giving you the best fit, how much horizon, how much frequently you should review it. So all this learnings will come eventually by uh, review, by forecast review. Why this is important? Because in your books or in your courses you will only learn some standard practices, and since um, what works best for you, the tailor-made forecasting process, you will only learn over the period of time. So that will happen by frequent reviews of the forecasting process. Second is to gain insight into expected performance. Now you want to also have an idea how much accuracy you can expect from your forecast. Now since you're reviewing from last 1 year and you know that your forecasting model gives you 80% of accuracy, so you know that while working or while using that forecast as an input, you need to have that 20% error as a margin, as a buffer in your mind. That's second. Third, to benchmark. Now again, taking the same example, last year my forecast has been giving me 80% of accuracy, and I want to benchmark it, and next uh, month or next year I would like to give a higher target to my team, which can be 82% or 85%. Why? Because last 1 year I've been getting 80% accuracy. Now this benchmark can be also be used to benchmark how much your competitor or other companies in the same industry are able to get out of their forecasting. So that's the third benefit of having a forecast review process. Fourth is to spot problems early. So when you're reviewing the forecast and you can anticipate, oh, the that this is where I see my forecast going off. This is what generally doesn't happen. The trend is increasing too high. So all those things. So you can spot the problems real early than late. So these are the reasons why you should be having a forecasting review process. Now, how do you review it? What's your KPI? It's basically the accuracy. So there are the three types of errors which are used in the industry. One is unit based, which mean absolute deviation. So it's absolute deviation between forecast and actuals, and you take the mean of them. Second is percentage based. So in this we use the percentage. So percentage happens to be um, a more easy to interpret KPI, which any layman can understand, even if person who you are explaining to doesn't have any understanding about the product, how is the monthly sales of the product, but still he can interpret. Okay, 20% off means it's how much off it is. One drawback of percentage based KPIs are their scale sensitive. If a very low or high volume can skew the number uh, very off. For example, suppose you have a product which goes only 10 units per month, and then you see 5 units of variation, then and overall you see a 50% error or 50% accuracy in this case. Now since this 10 units is very low in number, a 5% variation, a 5 units of variation is also a big variation. So low volume one can really influence the whole output. Third is a relative based accuracy. So in this you try to give a weightage to the skews you are uh, for the skews you are calculating the accuracy for. Like certain skews which are high value, so you want to give more weightage to them. Certain skews which goes in high volume, you want to give more weightage to them. So that way. So these are the three types of accuracy used. Now, in industry on your company, you're not going to use these KPIs on one product level. You will be obviously using them on product family. You will have hundreds of SKUs under particular family. Then you want to check the accuracy on the family level or aggregate level. So you have MAPE, MAD, and this normalization method, which we'll be discussing, which is used for this product family. And what are pros and cons to it? So starting with the percentage based KPI, which is MAPE. So as we discussed in the previous slide, that the low volume will dominate the result. If you are having a product family which has a lot of low volume products, then those are going to dominate, and you need to have this thing in mind while using the MAPE. Second is MAD. So again, will this the high volume product will dominate the results. And third, sometimes this practice is also done that we want uh, the team would like the forecasting team would like to convert the the products into equivalent dollars. Why? Because sometimes into this MAD, the high volume product is dominating, we are still okay with it for that, because the high volume, if it's high volume, it's going to be high cost also. So the high volume dominating the product is not an issue, but sometimes there are products which are low in volume but high in value. So in such cases the MAD doesn't work. So this is the case when you have uh, mix of high value and low value products, then this third um, practice is used, where you would like to convert them into the values, and in terms of value which is the accuracy. So there is no one shoe fit for all method, or one standard method, one best method. um, in any industry or in any forecasting process, when you are using this MAPE, MAD, or this normalization method, you need to have the understanding that what are the pros and cons of each of them, and what is my business, whether I have low volume products, whether I have high volume products, whether I have mix of them. You need to accordingly decide the KPI for yourself, and accordingly use it, understanding your business, how your the nature of your business is. Now talking about periodic tracking, how it also helps. First, it allows you to compare the different stat forecasts. So every month you can compare how different forecasts are working, like stat forecast, then the enriched forecast. Enriched forecast is the adjusted forecast by your demand planner, because he has more information about the business, what's happening into the market. Third is by the sales team. So you can always do a comparison of different forecasts, um, what's the different numbers, and you can always take a decision where to adjust. Secondly, you can judge the value add, right? So you know which product family needs adjustment or needs enrichment, or which product family is working very well with by the sales forecast. You know which forecast is working best by judging the value add. Thirdly, you can anticipate the accuracy to be expected going forward. Now, since you're reviewing it frequently, you know how much accuracy should be anticipated by a particular type of forecast or particular product family. So this is it for the forecast review process and how it should be done. So that we'll be discussing in the next lesson, which is exception review process. Thank you and have a great day ahead.